Hello to all the listeners and welcome back to my channel. To those already subscribed and already listened to my previous videos. So we're just gonna do the message from the universe today, but before that please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell icon. Okay, so we're just gonna see what it brings for all of us for the upcoming day. The very first card that came out while I was meditating and while I was doing other stuff was that you are in a win-win forecast. Like there's just a win-win situation for you. But what you have to handle in that situation, that is basically spirituality and practicality. You need to have a balance between both of them. You may be very spiritual, but you are not looking at the signs that the divine is giving you at the moment. You are not listening to your intuition for some reason. And if you're thinking what I'm saying is that you're not able to understand what I'm trying to say, definitely by the end of the reading we will have the outcome for sure, and we all can understand what I'm talking about right now. But for this first card, all it's trying to say is that you have to release all the fears and you have to balance your spirituality and your practicality. Sometimes what happens is sometimes that happens with me too. We being so much spiritual, we have so much power, so much faith, and then all of a sudden, like within seconds, we lose all that faith. Why? What happens? Why? Because that practicality just came in the way. I'm not saying you can't be practical in life. Of course, you are living in this 3D world. You have to be practical in life, but we have to make a balance between our spiritual level and the practical life. You need to pay attention to some of the efforts that you always wanted to take. For example, you were going towards your goal. For example, a relationship. You always wanted that relationship. You were going towards that goal, and all of a sudden something happened and you're like, practically this is impossible. When you are on the spiritual path, what are you thinking about? Practicality of life? I don't think that makes too much of sense to me at the moment. So whatever efforts you were making before, maybe it was on the spiritual level, or maybe it was that you were doing something to overcome some fears, or doing something to find a job, doing something to go into a certain relationship or to approach a certain person. I'm not saying that you can be just spiritual and you'll be like, and you've done so much, to the other person, you have said so many things, and right now you're just saying I am sorry in your own head. That person doesn't know about it. So in that case, you do need to make some of the efforts. You have to make those efforts. You cannot just be like, God forgive me. Yes, definitely you need forgiveness from the divine, but you also need to talk to that person. All what divine wants you to do. If you are on the wrong path and you know that wherever you're going, whichever way you have chosen is not right, then I would suggest you to just sit back, meditate, and you will get all the answers. You just need to meditate right now and get those answers. And I am sure the angels will help you. If you're that much spiritual, the angels will for sure help you. Let's see what else this card says. If you are in a tricky situation because you've been acting up, you were just acting up, or you have been too hard on yourself lately, this card is for all those people who need a message from the cosmos, from the universe. If you're in a tricky situation, drop that situation right away. There is nothing left to uncover, and you know that somehow your intuition, that I feel your intuition knows that there is nothing left that you're trying to save now. You have to drop that situation right away, or else divine is gonna put you in some other kind of a tricky situation if you don't listen to the intuition and to the signals that divine is trying to send you. Your intuition knows it all. You just don't want to believe into that intuition, because believing into the intuition is a completely different factor, and being spiritual is a different thing. Practicality, I don't actually see it anywhere in your life. To the person I'm talking, maybe it's just that one person that I'm talking to at the moment. I don't see practicality anywhere for you at the moment. Although this card says that you need a balance between your spiritual life and your practical life, but you are spiritual, but practical, you can be practical, like you see everything there. You don't want to listen to it, you don't want to see, you know it and you don't want to see it. There are two factors. One thing, our heart knows that certain thing has ended. The other part of our heart says, no, it hasn't ended. There is something left, or maybe I can just take out something from that situation. No, you cannot. You will just do more harm to yourself if you keep digging into the same thing again and again. There is absolutely nothing left. You just got to move on. You have to follow your intuition. It is not gonna let you down, so just follow your intuition. And maybe your intuition is telling you something about that other person. And this card also suggests that that other person that you're inquiring about, not the person in which your intuition says that it has already ended, not that person, but the person that is on your mind that you're inquiring about, that I don't know what's going on in his or her life, that person is your soulmate. This card has a lot of other meanings, but to that one person, all I could read in this card was just these details. And that's what the divine wants me to convey from this card. Eventually, by the end of the reading, we'll see what the outcome comes. So let's just clarify it a little bit more and see what the universe has to tell you with the second card. Let's see. Okay, see, as I said, we'll be coming closer to what we want. You are very close to achieving your goal. The second card very clearly says that you are very close to your goal at the moment. Maybe it is because not what you were doing, maybe it was because of the prayers and because of the efforts of some other person in your life that always wanted good for you, maybe a family member or somebody. Maybe you must be thinking, I've done so much, how can I be close to my goal? But I must remind you that there are people around you, can be any of your family members, that are actually praying for you to come on the right path. You need to be on that right path. And because of those prayers today, you are saved. Your intuition is telling you there is nothing left to dig in the situation you're right now. You might call it tricky. I would call it useless. There's nothing left in that. You need to make some adjustments in your life as per this card. You are on the right track, but you have to reassure yourself that you are on the right track. Nobody else needs reassurance or assurance. It's only you who need that assurance that yes, you are on the right track. You are about to achieve that goal if you simply just cut that tricky situation right away. If you keep digging it, there is absolutely nothing left in that situation that I can see, and you will get into much more trouble. Why? Because you're not listening to the intuition, you are not listening to the divine signals, and then as a cycle of life keeps on going and going and going, you will keep on continuing that cycle again, and you'll just increase that time period. You will increase the time period of your sufferings, which we don't want. So if this reading serves as a message for that person, listen to it, because it's a very strong message that just couldn't let me sleep. I had to take this reading out. I was not able to even communicate to anyone. I had to take this reading out. And now I can understand why, because it is so intense. It is so intense. Finally, the situation that we were talking about in all these days, that situation has come to an end. Maybe by the prayers of other people, maybe you haven't done something, maybe the divine intervened in your situation, but something happened and that situation ended, just not the way you expected it to end. But it has ended. So, you need to concentrate on the conclusion. What you always wanted to end this situation. You were finding ways to end it. And finally, when the divine intervened and it has ended, now you're thinking, now you're looking back at that situation and you're thinking, really? How did that happen and why did that happen? Maybe it happened in a way that is not favorable for you. But what matters the most is that it has ended. And that's what matters. Maybe it did not end from your side, but it ended from the other person's side, and you were expecting that you will be ending that situation and not the other person. The other person will still be stuck on you. But maybe that other person has already gone. And that's because the divine intervened. And now it should not be hurting you or your ego, a very heavy word I'm going to say. It should not be hurting your ego at all, because that's what you wanted to happen. That's what the divine wants from you. That's what your intuition wanted you to do. Sometimes what the divine's plan is, just simply accept it. You cannot see the positive outcomes at the moment, but later on you'll see all the positive outcomes. Okay, for example, I'll give you a very common example. Just imagine if you would have ended that situation, that person stuck in your life, you moved on with somebody else, that person would still be intervening, that person would still be in your life, that person would still cause chaos in your life, right? But the divine did not want this to happen, not even to the other person whom you're going to be with, not even to that person. Divine cannot be so much harsh with the other person. So that is why the divine intervened in this situation, and divine made that other person end the situation with you, so that that person does not come back into your life and make a chaos out of your life. Maybe you're thinking at the moment that I was supposed to leave the situation. No. If you would have left, you would have been trouble almost for the next 5 to 10 years. If the other person has gone, you'll be free. Because the other person has already taken his or her path, his or her divine path. So, it is a positive sign for you. It is not a negative thing. Let's see what else this card says. Exactly, no false move. We cannot, okay, I'm not saying this to scare you at all, but one false move and everything can turn around in like seconds. You cannot have a false move at the moment, because the divine has intervened, and divine will not let you go to that path from where it has brought you back. Maybe you're just gonna get another, I would say, another harsh lesson from divine, but divine will never let you go in that wrong path. Divine won't let you go that way. This is not meant to scare you at all. It is just to tell you that the situation that you're scared of right now, the upcoming situation, do not be scared of that. Stay focused on that. It's a good time to review the plans, but you have to keep moving towards your dreams. Also, one last message that this card and the divine wants you to know: you need to get back into your good healthy habits. Good healthy habits is something that I don't see for this person. So just get back into good health. Okay, yes, it's an intense period for you at the moment, but you're gonna have the fruit for this whole journey, all the obstacles, whole of this troubled situations that you have come. You're definitely gonna get a very nice outcome out of that. Let's see what the third card says. Let's see what it has for you. Okay. Simply says that you need to bring love into your life. You need to bring that love into your situation. There is no looking back. Again, the card says there is no looking back. Change is on its way, and it would come quickly. It's gonna come quickly in your life. Whether you get the change you want, it depends. See, it depends whether you want it the way it should happen. you want it a certain way, divine does it a certain way. Divine knows better. Divine knows it in a much more better way. The change will happen for sure, and you have to accept that change whether you like it or not. Divine cannot let you go on the wrong path. Okay? You have to be more detached from a situation. Like I'm saying, there's no looking back. You cannot look back. You cannot dig back into the same situation again and again. And again, the cards are saying the same thing. Do not look back into that situation. There is nothing left in that situation. I assure you, whatever situation you're going through, there's nothing left in there. If that person's gone, maybe you were not expecting the way that person went. Maybe you were expecting that you are gonna leave the situation. If it did not happen that way, it is a very positive thing for you. It is a very positive message for you, because the divine is protecting you. You need to understand that the divine has your back. Like, it is protecting you at all times. You should just show gratitude to divine. And this situation has ended not because you wanted the situation to end. This situation has ended because it was negative for you in some or the other way. So if you're thinking, oh my god, this situation has ended because I ended it or I wanted it to end, no. It was meant to end. So you can start a new cycle full of balance between your practical and your spiritual life. Maybe you were too much spiritual, but on the other hand, you are like, if you're 100% spiritual, maybe you're 200% practical. And that's not the balance. You're looking more at the practical life than the spiritual life. It has to be 50-50. So just pay attention to what your intuition is saying. Pay attention to the things that are, all these things are improving your karma. Okay? All these things that are happening to you right now, maybe you're thinking you're in such a negative situation. It is just improving your karma. That's all. Because divine wants you to be on the right path. Maybe it's not because you prayed for it. Maybe it's because somebody else in your life is praying for you continuously. Maybe somebody else in your life is so much disturbed by the moves that you're making, because someone else, if suppose me being somebody else, me being the third person looking at your life, I know that person's going in the wrong direction. But you being in love or out of I don't know what, you think that that situation is right. That is not. If divine is ending that situation in a certain way, there is a reason behind that. And if you need any of the answers, if you need answers about your spiritual growth, if you need answers about your practical life, you need to meditate and the answers will come. The answers will come for sure. Just ask the angels for guidance. Okay? Basically, that was all for the reading, and as I said, we will eventually reach the outcome of this reading. We started with detaching from a certain situation. We started with the divine telling you to drop a particular situation. You have to drop it. It did not end the way you expected it to end, but the way it ended is far much better than the way you can ever imagine. Do you want a peaceful life now? If you want, then just listen to your intuition. You are so much close to your goals. If you just say yes, yes, yes to yourself like 21 times, you're gonna achieve your goal. And that is for sure that you will achieve your goal 100%. But detach yourself from the other situation. You have to detach yourself. That was all for the readings. Too much intense. Somebody too much in need of this reading. Someone just needs to hear this. Because you gotta balance your life, because one false move, I remember, I think in the reading I said one false move and it can change the whole situation and increase that whole process. Although divine is at your back, divine is protecting you. Take that protection from divine. Just say, divine, I owe everything to you. Protect me. You'll still be protected, but do not harm yourself or the other person that is also involved, because I see there are 3 people involved. So, and one has already moved aside. The one that is gone, let that person go, because that situation, maybe that was a very romantic situation for you, and that situation had to end. The divine had to end that situation so you can actually be on your spiritual path and move a little bit more spiritually than being more practical. Okay, so that was all for the reading. If you like the readings, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that bell icon. I'm sorry, I'm still in that energy. I'm still getting that person's emotions and those energies. It is too much intense. I'm just in the thought process right now. I'm just thinking if that person's gonna listen to their intuition. But I hope that person does. I really hope the person does listen to their intuition and make the move right away. Yeah. Okay, so see you all in the next video. Bye bye.